Welcome back to What's Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is an Object 430U. It's a Tier 10 Soviet medium tank, although it plays like a heavy, and it's located on the north spawn of Pilsen under the command of Igunter of FILO. Game started. Okay, he's got a 122mm gun capable of 440 alpha, and it's penetrating 252mm of armor with the standard rounds. With the heat, that will go up to 340. So it's got decent penetration, and in fact actually the gun's got decent DPM because the reload time is just under 10 seconds. As you can see, he's moving quickly over to the east side of the map. Now, it doesn't move as quickly as other mediums, but that's because the Object 430U has a lot more armor than most other mediums, so it's able to basically hold its own against enemy heavy tanks as well as enemy medium tanks. In fact, it's a bit of an all-rounder, you might say, and it's probably, well, many people say it's the best medium in the game. Okay, he's into the dip next to the railway line and moving up. He's got the protection of those pipes to a certain extent, certain distance away, but he's actually holding back and waiting for his teammates to catch up, I think. Well, they're not coming around. There's only a Death Star on this side of the map, and he's going to use those pipes to get as close as he can to the enemy without being spotted. There's bound to be some in that tree line. Nearly always somebody tries to come up this way, because if the enemy leaves it open, they can actually make it very easy for them to win the game. And here comes the first enemy. It's a Progetto, and it's the 46, the Tier 8 version. It's a Tier 10 game, Tier 8 tanks. He took a round from the Progetto in his gun, but he fires one back again, 415 this time. And the T-54, which was the tank that was actually, well, that's the American one, and he goes down to fire from a T-44 behind Igunter. You can see one of the rounds actually bounced off his turret, and he's yet to lose, well, he hasn't lost much in the way of hit points so far, but you can see there's a big ricochet mark along the top of his turret where the Progetto missed. So we know there's an Object 140 ahead of him because, well, we ricocheted around from him, and Igunter's moving up to try and get into the dip. He's done it. Okay, he's got teammates behind him now. T-44, T-54 and the Death Star way back. Okay, now he's got some support. It's going to be easier because there's going to be some distraction for the enemy. If they see him, they're more than likely going to see the other two, and it'll be a toss-up as to who actually gets the round. Nope, the Object 140 pulled away. And there he is. He's actually sitting on the corner. In fact, they've all lined up on the corner. And he managed to bounce 2 rounds, but the Pantera managed to get 1 round into him for 187, and this is where he needs his teammates to help him. He can easily pen some of these guys. The Charioteers, no problem at all. 471 high roll. There's the Object 140. He actually must have pulled back, realizing that there was a force coming. Puts a round for 390 into him and bounces the round, came back. That's a low roll. Arty's trying to help. He stunned the 140. Igunter's being very cautious about going too far forward without support. There's the Charioteer. The Object 140 sitting on the corner there. Here we go. Oh, took one in the tracks. And potentially a steel wall now from that. CS-53, one of the new Polish mediums. Puts one into the low plate. Oh, and he gets the fire. And that was not a premium fire extinguisher. That was a manual fire extinguisher that went off there because there was some delay before the shell went off. But he's taking damage now from the Object 140, and he's gone down thanks to help from the T-44. They've disposed of the charioteer. So it's just this CS-53 just around the corner. Oh, big round in, 418, but it's a low roll. But the Su-14 too, the school bus, the enemy Arty fires around right across the battlefield into him. And oh, now this is a more difficult prospect. That's a Jaegeru. And this is where he really needs the support of his own Arty to even the score. He can probably fire into the side of the Pantera from where he is. Yep, gets one in. Bounces the round that came back, the 90mm round. That's CS-53 saying, I'm still here. And the Jaegeru's made a big mistake. And if he can track him and hold him in place, and there's the school bus hitting us again. Down to half health now. He really needs to track that Jaegeru if he can, but he got the kill instead. That's an important kill because that guy could have held us up for a long time. We've got the rear of the side of the turrets on the Pantera, and he goes down. So that's 2 kills now. Still holding this corner. And the Wizzy 120's gone around the outside, and now the CS-53's in a lot of trouble. And Igunter takes the kill. There's still 6 enemies out there, 2 Arty. Oh, there's one of them trying to fire at him. I suspect that's the Su-14 too. He's hankering after firing over in this corner of the map. I think he's been devoting all his attention to what's going on this side. Okay, we're unsighted now, so we can move up. But Igunter's actually got different ideas. I think he wants to take on the enemy heavies that are remaining instead of the enemy Arty. I think he wants to try and catch them in the flank. And that's why he's turned his gun to one side as he's driving along. Oh, he might be able to come up behind these guys and give them what for in their rear. Not sure if he's been seen by those guys yet. Well, they're about to find out the hard way. He's not looking this way. He's not expecting a shot this way. Oh, but he saw him and fired one over 444. So now he has to be a little more careful because the next shot, if he got a high roll, that enemy could take him out the game. And is he looking this way? It looks like he is. And he's got T-30 for support. There's an enemy Wizzy 120 down to the south. If he could take that guy out, then he could come up behind them. But of course he's got the enemy Arty in his rear. They're still alive. The Wizzy's been killed, taken out by our Lorraine 15551. So now he's got the side. He can catch these guys in a crossfire. They've got to decide which target they're going to look at first. There's the T-30. Nice shot into the turret. 428. Low roll. But it still all counts. T-30 is toast? No, not yet. One more shot. He's out the game. And there's the Wizzy. He knows what trouble he's in now, but he bounces the round that comes from the Wizzy. So he's going to get another shot before the Wizzy can fire. And the Wizzy's moving about to try and avoid the shot that's coming. He managed to bounce the Wizzy again. Shows how good the armor on the Object 430U is. Okay, everyone's targeting that Wizzy now. He's the last enemy alive. The Arty's been killed by the T-44. And the Wizzy gets distracted by Igunter. And the Scorpion G fires one right up his rear. And that's it. It's all over. So a pretty dynamic game there from Igunter with a scary moment by the railway tracks where you see that many enemy tanks facing you all at the same time. It's a brown pants moment. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Ace tanker for Igunter of FILO in the Object 430U. Very well done. He managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage. A hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from 4 different enemies. A bruise of metal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one he managed to get 8. A 5 effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. And a shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. He got the steel wall in this one for blocking the most damage in the game. Over 1,000 hit points, at least 11 shots and surviving. And on top of that, he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and that's mainly in thanks to all the efforts he put over on the east side of the map, taking down those enemy tanks that were all lined up, as well as the Jaegeru getting the final shot on that guy. Really did help a lot. Let's have a look at the team scores. 6,027 hit points of damage. He easily got the high caliber on this one. The next high scorer being the Wizzy 111 Model 5A, who got 4,939. He did get 1 shot into Igunter. In fact, actually, I think he got 2 shots into Igunter, but it wasn't enough. He couldn't penetrate Igunter once he got into a good position where only the top of his turret was showing. And Igunter wasn't going to let him penetrate anything after that. And when it came to kills, it was actually the Wizzy 111 Model 5A who got the highest number. He got 4 kills. The Death Star, Igunter, the Lorraine 15551, the Scorpion and the T44 all got 3 kills each. That means that these guys were the only ones who got kills on their team. 5 players all got 3 kills. Unfortunately, they couldn't all platoon together because the Lorraine was already in platoon with the Charioteer. But if 3 of them have actually platooned, yes, they would have ended up with Brothers in Arms for certain. And it's just a pity that you couldn't have a bigger platoon than that, because they would have ended up with crucial contribution as well. When it came to base XP, it's Igunter. Yes, 1,313 to him. 1,123 goes to the T44 and 1,069 goes to the Scorpion G. He fired 19 rounds in that game, got 17 direct hits and 14 penetrations, damage of 6,027 hit points, all of it at close range, received 21 hits from the enemy, only 3 of which penetrated, and it was the Wizzy 111 Model 5A who got 2 of those. 17 non-penetrations and 3 hits by way of splash damage. I think the other one that penetrated him was the Pantera on the other side of the map. That was the guy who shot him just as he was coming up to that corner to engage the Object 140. He blocked damage of 4,860 hit points in total, 6 enemy vehicles spotted, 8 enemy vehicles damaged and 3 killed, and 2,831 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he earned 63,549 credits from the game, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 55,120 credits. He received 1,313 XP and took away 1,970 altogether. But yes, he said he didn't think it was possible, with all the good players out there playing it, that he would get a result like this, getting an ace tanker. But I think you have to consider the way that he played it. I mean, the fact that he actually came up against that huge number of tanks over on the east side of the map, and he still fought them off and got kills. And also then when he took the battle to the enemy heavies, a medium tank taking the fight to the enemy heavies and taking them on and killing them. Yes, I think really it was the way that you played in this game that earned you the ace tanker, and the sheer fact that you carried the team with a huge amount of damage. You didn't necessarily get a large number of kills. You got the same number of kills as the other guys who got kills on your team. But it was the way that you did it, and the fact that you blocked so much damage over on that east side of the map from the railway line, that was very effective indeed. And I was very frightened when I saw that Jaegeru suddenly appear out of nowhere, but luckily he was distracted by somebody else and turned himself sideways and allowed you to get the kill on him. So that was a very useful kill as well. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.